First and foremost, I've got some shout outs to do. I've written down on a bit of paper and I put it down and I can't find it. So wait till tomorrow, we'll do it tomorrow. Moving on swiftly. I was at the gym and I was thinking about, about this video, about what I could do on this video. And sometimes that helps, you know what I mean? I was having one of those lazy ones today, you know what I mean? Do you know when you're having a right lazy day? I couldn't really be bothered to go to the gym. I'm glad I did, because they're the times you should go when you really can't be asked. But I went and started, and yeah, I was right, you know what I mean? I went there and I went, oh yeah. Someone mentioned that, I remembered I was on the treadmill and I remember someone mentioned that Richard Kuklinski, the Iceman, to me the other day, about 2 days ago. I'm sure most of you have seen that film, The Iceman, true story, and read the book, seen interviews with him that are all over YouTube as well, when he's talking about he's got 250 victims and whatnot, and he was a hitman for the mafia and this and that, and that's what he says, you know what I mean? That's what the books say. And yeah, the man's a proven liar, isn't he? That was the thing I thought about. The man is a proven liar. I mean, the FBI have come out and said he didn't do this. He didn't, he took he murdered a couple of people that he went away for whatever. He was trying to scam them and take their money or whatever. But there's a book written by, even in his interviews, he talks about Roy DeMeo, this mafia hitman geezer. But he worked for the Gambinos in New York, yeah. And this Richard Kuklinski says he worked for them, and they employed him and all that. But this Roy DeMeo's got a book about him called Murder Machine, right? He's got 100 victims to himself. Every single person in his crew's got like 50 to themselves. Their captain, what's his name, Nino Gadji, he's got 50 to himself. You know what I mean? What are they calling this geezer from? He was never on an FBI. He was never on a photo. He was never on an FBI photo. He was never on nothing. Yeah. And but because people have seen the film, or people have read the book, or people have seen the interviews, and I fell for it at first. You know what I mean? I first read his book. I first read his book. That's when I first heard of him, when I read his book. I was in Stockton, and my downstairs actually was like, yeah, read this book, and he sent it up to me. And yeah, very entertaining book, isn't it, right? I mean, talks about he had his first victim when he was about 11 or 12. Straight away, you should be thinking, hold up here, mate, you know what I mean? He used to go out training on tramps and all this shit, like, different. And it's just proven, long story short, it's been proven that he's a liar, right? He's a fantasist, he's a liar. He was taking credit for things that he was not involved in. Other people have been convicted for things that he's like, yeah, it was me. But because people have seen the film, because people have read the book, they know him, and they believe their true stories, don't they? Yeah. In the face of all the evidence, people will be watching this now, going, what? Nah, it's definitely true because I've read it. Like pre-recorded answers, yeah. In the face of any evidence, like they just revert to answers that, pre-recorded answers. You know what I mean? They don't even think about the answers they're giving. They're just giving you answers that they think fits. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? Just God, it's a lovely blue sky out there today, isn't it? Yeah, lovely and sunny. God, looks like it's getting a bit chilly, doesn't it? Yeah, lovely and sunny. God, it's starting to rain. Yeah, lovely and sunny. What? Do you know what you're talking about? People must know them sort of people, innit? People that just, in spite of any evidence, they will just talk waffle, mate. They will just... It don't even make sense to what they believe, like to the facts. You know what I mean? They just will not believe. what they say just does not match up to the story. It just makes no sense. You know what I mean? Everyone must know them people, yeah. The, the person that mentioned him the other day is probably forgetting what? No. He's got 250 people. He done his first one when he was 10. When he learned to walk, and he took someone out when he was about 2. But he's a waffler. He's full of shit. But history has been changed, isn't it? History has changed to this geez. There's a film out about him. There's a book out about him. So that's how history's going to be remembered, isn't it? History. We all look back on history books as if they're facts. Like, didn't it? Oh yeah, look at this. Yeah, it's just written by some guy. Like, if you're working for the regime and they're telling you what to write, you're gonna write it. Yeah, I don't mean it's true. But this geezer was a pure fantasy. Like, he wasn't even. He was just a pure liar. You know what I mean? I think he was just bored. He got like life without parole, and I think he just got bored, mate. It was just, yeah, I did this, I did that, I took this one out, I was on this one. You're thinking, shut up, mate. The geezer you're saying was employed. He's got a book about himself called Murder Machine. That's a really good book, by the way. All get out there and read it. They're not phoning up this geezer from New Jersey and going, yeah, come and do this bit of work for me. So I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but he's a waffler. And the point was, that was the point I got right off the point I was trying to make. But those people that, in spite of all evidence, will not have it, and they will just be talking absolute nonsense. Like I said, you'll be sitting there going, yeah, car. I like the look of that car. Yeah, I love the colour red. Yeah. Just gonna pop to the shop. Yeah, I love the colour red. We all know them sort of people, mate. They just make no sense, and they waffle in the face of everything. You know what I mean? In the face of all the evidence, they still believe something, and they'll never change. That's sort of similar to and I only bring this up because I've watched a couple of podcasts about it recently. That Charles Bronson, Charles Salvador, however you know him as, great author. I've read his books. Obviously, I read all his books when I was in jail. Most of us have, who's been banged up. They're great books, great pictures, great drawer. But when you're listening to all these people, so when I'm listening to all these people talk, you sort of forget he's like 70 or plus. Right? People are talking about whether they should let him out, whether he's still a danger, whether he's this, whether he's that. My granddad's age. Yeah? If he was out, he'd be eligible for a bus pass. I'm sure he would. It's sort of like irrelevant whether he's a danger, if he's this. He's an old man. Let him, like, how dangerous are old men? Any old men? How dangerous are any old men? I'm saying he's a weakling, right? I don't want to piss him off, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, you listen to these people talk, like, geezer's, but how long's he been banged up for? 40? I don't know, 40 years? Literally never met him, never encountered him, never anything like that. I've just, all these people doing podcasts about him got me thinking. And, yeah, you've got to get the image out of your head, haven't you, of those pictures you see in the books and all that are like 30 years old. Just let him out, just let him enjoy for like, what, 20 odd years or whatever, do you know what I mean? Just let him enjoy the last little bit of his life free, and stop talking about him as if he's some dangerous, psychotic, whatever. I mean, every single crime he's ever committed, apart from like the 2 that he was on road for, was in jail. I say crime, more like rules getting broken, isn't they? You know what I mean? Getting on the roof. I got on the roof. There's no special charge for it. It's like failing to listen to a direct order and failing to comply with health and safety. Yeah, it's not like, oh, he smashed up a roof, he chinned him. That's another thing as well. I'm getting on it now. But when I'm hearing not prisoners or anyone that knows him, like his friends, family, or whatever, definitely not prisoners that are talking about him. But when I hear members, like people that used to work for the establishment, talking, we should let him out now, we should do this, we should do that. I think, Was you thinking like that when you was working like a screw for whatever? Was you when you was working for the establishment? Was you thinking like that? Was you trying to free him from the inside, trying to help matters from the inside? No, you probably like. I literally had a conversation with two screws in Chelmsford years ago. Yeah, one of them, like one of the screws. I know his name. I don't like. If I said it, he could complain and I could take it down. Yeah, blonde hair, cheeks go rosy red. Yeah, when he's got the hump or he gets bored. Um, him and his mate, the sidekick, was say, like, do you know when people were just talking on the landing, and again, Charles Bronson's famous, and he's an author. He's got these books. That's why people know him. The film, the books. Somebody's talking like, should he ever be freed? And these two screws are going no because of all the trouble he's caused. Yeah, their argument, right? So those are two screws. I bet when they're on road, when they've retired, they'll be like, yeah, you should let him out. It's so cruel, man. You should let him out. You're thinking, but you got to look at it from like the fact that if you go to work, forget even like being a screw, yeah. If you like whatever job you've got out there, when you go to work, if you went to work, yeah, and you was like 9 to 5 doing your shit, you had your lunch in the fridge, you know what I mean, you're doing your thing, and then 5 minutes before lunch every single day, or a couple of times a day, the same geezer will mess your day up. Yeah, he will stop you from having lunch. You're like, you're a mechanic, and the geezer gets on the roof every day, like just whatever, yeah. But just think if you're a screw, right? You go to work, and you right. It's nearly lunch. I'm going home in a bit. This that, and then he's on the roof, or he's knocked someone out, and then he's got on the roof, and then he smashed a load of shit up. You're not going home. You're not getting your lunch. You're not doing shift change. You're standing there starving. Think like, do you think these people have any sympathy for him? Or do you think they think he's a piece of shit? That's not what I'm saying. I just think this is what I think they truthfully think. Because when they're at work, when they're being a screw, they hate on him. Like, he's chinning them, he's doing this, he's doing that. He's delaying their day and he's ruining their day. They have no sympathy for this geezer. They do not like him. This is just in my opinion. And I'm hearing people talk about him and I think, what, you think he should be let at? Why? Like, why? Is it because you can see what way the wind's like what the people like truly think like on road, like, you know what I mean? Most normal people probably think just let the geezer out now, but I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird when I hear like people establishment, not people that have been banged up and all that, yeah, people that know him, this that. It's about people from the establishment saying, advocating for him to get out, and I think, you think he's a piece of shit? Truthfully, you know what I mean? He would have ruined your day. He would have knocked your teeth out. He would have done this. He would have, you know what I mean? He would have done all that stuff. Stopped you having your lunch. Stopped you going home. You was due to go home at 4 p.m. and now it's midnight and he's still on the roof. You ain't going nowhere. You think he's a piece of shit? You think all prisoners are a piece of shit? So just tell the truth. Those two screws did on the wing that day. Yeah, if you enjoyed that, hit subscribe and we'll chat again. Adios.